guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is nail training part 2. It's a continuation of the live video that I did 2 days ago. The nail training was actually supposed to be on a live video, but my video was cut short, so I had to continue it on Zoom, and I just screen recorded it, so yeah, don't miss out. Okay, so right now, and I'm so sorry I started screen recording late, so I missed some parts. I missed the part of applying tips and everything, so I'll do another video on this, so I just show you the correct way of applying your tips for artificial nails or extensions, whatever you want to call it. So I've already applied the tips, and now I'm just cutting. First, you need to ask your client about their size. I'm actually using a nail cutter to cut my tips, but usually we have a tips cutter, but I couldn't find one here in Russia. That's why I'm using a nail cutter. And a nail cut, okay, it's actually not really hard, but a tips cutter is easy because of the way it is, like it's just fast. So yeah, and first you ask your client how long they want their nails to be, and ask them if they are sure of if they will really be comfortable with that size, especially if they want long nails, because sometimes the client will be like, I want long nails, and then later that day or the next day they'll call you that no, they cannot manage, they can't deal with the nails, they cannot do their household chores, because long nails, like especially if you're getting them for the first time, they're kind of hard to deal with. Wearing your jeans is hard and everything, and that's the shape that she wants. They're actually different kinds of shape. Hopefully I'll will go through all of them. There are a lot. So yeah, as I was saying, the client needs to be sure of their size, because if they get a size length that's longer than that is out of their comfort zone, then it will really, they'll have to come back, and then you cut them for them. Cutting them means sealing the ends again. It's a long process, so please make sure that your client is comfortable. Like, you should ask them. And also, first, when I cut, I usually shape my nails first before I file on top. I just make sure that I shape, and when I shape, when you are filing, it's like some go under. That's why I'm filing under right now, just to make sure that my tips are neat. You don't want to have any extra nails, not nails, but like, excess things to disturb you. So I'm just shaping, and when you shape, you should go from side to side. Don't just file one side and then you go to the other. No, your nails will be skewed, so just file from side to side, and be careful when you are filing, because if you file too fast or if you get distracted, you might end up not uh, getting a proper shade that your client wants, and that's not good. So you should always be patient when you are filing. Just file, file, and file. And filing is actually like not really, I can say, the toughest part of nails. Like, it's a long process, it takes time. That's why tips are usually expensive compared to normal natural nails, because they take time. So, and actually, sir, it takes, like, for you to just do a set of manicure with tips, it takes like from an hour, 30 minutes to 2 hours, depending on how fast you are. But when you're starting off, you might even take 2 hours or so. So that's okay. You get better with time. You start mastering and just being fast at it. And I'm actually not gonna fast forward any part of this video, because I don't want you to miss out on any part. I want you to watch every part of it. That's the only way you are going to learn. If you fast forward, you might miss some parts, unless you don't want to be a nail technician, like a good one. So if you want to be a good one, please don't skip any part of this video. And also, but I'm going to try and cut out some parts. Like, I'll just since I'm doing this on a client, so now I'm exchanging hands and everything, so I'll just try to cut out the part of the other hand to make this video shorter. And yeah, I'm still filing, so I'm like, it takes time shaping and all that. That's why I love coffin shape, because it's kind of straight, like it's just straightforward, you don't really do a lot. And I'm actually even using these clear tips. It's my first time using them. Like, this is the second person I'm using them on. I recently just bought them because I wanted to try them out, and they're actually nice. They are harder compared to the other tips. These ones are really really hard, so it's hard for them to break. Yeah, unless you have, but if you are buying full tips are always like hard no matter what. But half tips, there are some types that are really brittle, not really brittle as such, but they are not that hard. And right now, as you can see, I'm showing you, you know, this, you can see that there's a difference between the nail itself and the tip. So now we are going to try and destroy that line. So that's how we file on top. We file on top to destroy that line, so that there'll be no bump, like you won't feel any bump when you are touching the nail, and it's supposed to look natural. So yeah, and we also file on top because, you know, the tip, they are shiny, so you don't want any shyness on your nails. As I told you guys earlier, that you should never apply gel on a shiny surface. That's why we always file our nails, because the gels are going to repel. When this person touches water, it's just going to peel. So don't file, like don't apply coat without filing. And also when you're filing, don't file too hard. First off, it's because you might have a client, like you used glue, and when you file too hard on glue, it starts heating up, and when it heats up, the client will get a burning sensation. So like they are most likely to even just move. Some will even scream, like, you know. And when you are filing, also don't just focus on one area and then you finish. No, just go from side to side. You go from side to side, and don't forget to file the sides also. You don't want any lifting, you don't want anything disturbing you. And also when you are filing the tip itself, like the kappa that is extended, don't file too hard, because if you file too hard, then the nails are going to break, and you don't want that. So please do not file too hard, just do it soft and smooth. Don't rush, you know. That's why I don't like having clients who are in a rush, because now you are just rushing, everything is just there messed up and everything. Okay, if you have mastered your art or whatever, it won't really be messed up. But I love doing nails with time. I don't really like rushing. And yeah, also when your clients are coming over, they shouldn't be on their phones, because it's disturbing. You want to use you It's like you need the fingers to like your attention, like they shouldn't be touching things, you know. Don't let them touch anything, because it's disturbing you. Like, the fingers should just be with you. That is your job until they are done. These things, I also don't even like it when clients come with babies, because sometimes it's just a whole lot of distraction. And also, when you are setting your prices, set them well. Sister, set them well. That is your business, that is your bread. Like, you should consider your time first off. That is an important thing. Always consider your time, and consider your products. If somebody comes and they're like, no, I know some way where they do nails at a cheaper price, whatever, tell them to go there. Tell them to go. Like, don't stoop so low because of a client. In as much as you need or you want their money, they need you too. So it's like it's a benefit for all of you. And one thing I learned in this business is that there will always be some, like, in as much as there are those that don't want to pay the full price, there will be those ones. You will always have your clients, so don't even worry about that. Set your prices so well, consider your time. And yeah, you just, we are almost done with filing. You just file, file, file. Okay. And also when you're filing, don't use a buffer. You should use a file, and you should look for nice files, you know, the ones that are like kinda hard. Some people use the card drill thing. I don't have that. I don't have a nail drill, but it's nice. It's faster. Like the filing is faster than when you use a file, but I don't know, I still prefer a file. Hopefully I'll get a card drill soon, so I see how it goes. Make sure you file your sides as well. File the sides. File the sides. You should file the inside so that it won't be. And you just remove the excess dust with your brush, and that's it. So after filing, you now wipe the surface of the nail with cleanser and a wipe, but in this case I told the client to go wash their hands because I love it that way. I feel like it removes everything, and when they wash their hands, please make sure that they don't touch anything. They should not even touch their clothes. Like, they shouldn't touch anything at all. So my client has, she washed her hands, and let me just show you the design that she wants. So that is what she wants, but she's just gonna go for one color, which is, she chose color pink. So today we are going to learn how to apply glitters, how to apply rhinestones, and also how to apply what is this, the stripes, because she wants all those things in one. And then now, after the client has washed their hands, they don't touch anything. Just let the nails dry naturally. If maybe you're in a hurry, then you can use kitchen paper or a kitchen, yeah, that kitchen paper, that's what you use. So now I'm just applying clear gel, or what they say base gel. It's the same thing. And when you apply your gel, make sure that you do it smoothly and you don't touch your cuticles. Please don't touch the cuticles. And also apply on the sides. Make sure you lock your nails. This is an important part of doing nails. If you don't lock your sides, your nails are going to peel, and you don't want that. Peeling is the worst thing that can ever happen to somebody's manicure, because honestly, it's annoying. It doesn't look nice. So yeah, you just apply. And with the touching of the cuticles, when you are starting, you are going to touch them, obviously, because you still haven't mastered the art well. So maybe your first 5 clients or people would have something like messed up manicure, but it's okay. And when you touch the cuticles, just make sure that you go over the sides with the cuticle pusher, just to remove the excess gel. And you need to practice also. I recommend, when you buy your kit, at least get 5 people, your cousins or your friends, just do their nails for free, so you learn from your mistakes, and it will be like a trial, so you see if their nails are going to last, if they are going to break, and then you'll be able to work on all those things. Sometimes you shouldn't really rush into getting customers and everything, because you might end up losing clients, because that client that came and their nails lasted for like a week or 2 weeks, they will not come back to you, because they'll be like, your nails don't last, but you are just a beginner. But to them, they won't look at it that way. So that's why you should practice on people first. I remember when I started, I practiced on my neighbors, everybody. I called them, did their nails with tips. It was like by force. So yeah, so the nail is finally dry, and so now it's time to apply our color. We have different types of colors. Let me say 3 colors there. So we have bright colors, for example, the orange, the black, pink, all the bright colors, like red. You only apply 2 layers of those bright colors. But if you have light colors like that, pink, like, pink, nude, those ones, you can maybe apply 3 layers, depending on the client, if they want, maybe if they want it to be dark. But you should never ever put 3 layers on a client. Not 3, but 4. I mean 4, sorry. You should never, because you know why? You don't want your nails to be thick, and the more color you apply, the thicker it becomes, and you don't want that. So please, you just apply 3, not more than 3. No matter what the client says, you should tell them that no, we don't do that, please. And your first layer is supposed to be thin. It should always be thin, like because it's just for it to create like a carbon, between the base shell and the color itself. So sometimes your client will be like, but that's not the color that I chose. Just tell them to chill and calm down, that is the first layer and everything. So you don't put a lot, you just put a little bit, just a little bit. Be careful with your cuticles. Don't go so you see this cuticle pusher that cash up, and if you touch like your cuticles with color, that's what you use to just clean it up. And you clean it up before you put it in the machine, not after. And don't be ignorant, don't apply, you messed up, but you're like, you just keep putting it in the machine. You'll be like, I'll clean it up later when you are done. No, it doesn't work like that. Once the gel dries, it's dry. You can't undo anything, you cannot clean anything, it's just dry. So please, don't be ignorant, don't be in a rush. Clean your sides, clean your cuticles. Please make sure that they are clean, because neat nails are the best. Neat nails make clients happy. Always keep your nails neat. Try as hard as you can to keep them neat, please. And don't forget to lock the sides. Always lock the sides. Every layer that you put, you lock your sides. You don't want nails peeling. You do not want that. So please, always, always, always lock your sides. You just put a little. I usually start from down, and then I go up to the cuticles. I feel like it's just better that way. Yeah, just lock. That's how you lock your sides. This is how you lock your sides. Yeah, you put it in the machine so it dries. So now it's dry, and we have a question: how do you deal with lifting or lifted cuticles? You usually cut them. We have a cuticle cutter. It's something like, let me say, like a nail cut. It's like a clip thing, but it's sharp, and it's kind of thin, but I don't have that. I haven't really done much training on cutting cuticles, so I'm usually kind of scared of hurting my clients. So I just do the little that I can, like I just push them and then I make sure that I clean them so well. Or you can also use this sharp thing, because it's sharp. I don't know if you cannot really see well, but yeah, that's the only thing that I do. Thank God I don't really get clients that have lifted cuticles and all that. And now I'm applying the second coat of color, and the second one is usually I apply not really a lot, but yeah, because we were trying now to make it dark. You just apply, make sure that you apply it evenly. And yeah, so this one is the second one, and since this color is bright, that is like the last one. That's the last layer of color. You don't want to have bumpy, not bumpy, but thick nails. That's why we don't put a lot of layers of color, because your nails will just be thick. You just apply the last coat. Do it well. Like I've even mastered my the way of doing neat nails. I don't really use don't really clean up, so it comes with time. You just master your skills, you don't give up, and the first times are going to be hard, but you don't give up. You keep trying until you master your everything. We've all started from the bottom. And right now I'm just going to put on my glitters. So with glitters, before you put on glitters, you put clear gel or base gel under first. Like you put a layer of it first, but you don't put it in the machine while it's you don't put it in the machine, because you need it to be wet for them to stick. And make sure that you apply it nicely on the nail, because you don't want some parts not having clear gel, and then when the glitters are going to stick, they will not stick well. And I usually put the cat towel, because glitters, they'll be all over the place. And also I forgot to mention that when you're applying your colors and everything, please remove the towel. I only use the towel to trap the dust and everything, because I don't have a dust collector. But yeah, if you can use kitchen paper, that's what you can put on top of the machine, because it doesn't have any lint. You don't want lint on your nails. That's why we remove the towel. And that's actually, yeah, and this is how I apply the glitters. I just pour over them, and then I put like the nail on the cap or whatever of this glitter thing, because you need to put the excess glitters back. You don't want to waste them. So yeah, and then after that you just put it in the machine and you close your glitters. After that, you just brush off the excess glitters with using our brush. So you just brush it off. Then after that, now we put on the rhinestones. Sorry, I cut off the part. So before you put on the rhinestones, you make sure that you put clear gel first, or your base gel. Why? Because they are supposed to stick onto the clear gel, and then you just take something very thin that you can use to put the rhinestones onto the nail. So I have this thing for making dots. That's what I use. Or you can use the sharp side of the cuticle pusher, or you can use a toothpick. That's so first I just put them randomly onto the nail. Then I make sure that I turn them nicely before I arrange them in the shape or design that the client wants. So you need to make sure that you put enough clear gel, like should be a lot, so they stick well, because they fall off. They are tiny. Okay, they are not really tiny. They have sizes that are big ones. They really fall off, and sometimes clients who have experienced rhinestones falling off, they will come, and some of them don't even do them anymore. They'll be like, those stones, I once had them, they fall off, I don't want them anymore, you know. So that's why you need to make sure that you put enough clear gel so they stick well. When they fall off, the nail starts, it looks bad, especially when they fall off within the first 2 weeks. Now I'm just arranging them into the shape that the client wants. I'm just arranging them. And we actually have different kinds of rhinestones. So glitters and rhinestones, when you put them on, you put clear gel first, you don't let it dry, then you put them, and then you put it on. But if you are using, if the client wants, for example, let me say a sticker, then you don't put clear gel before, you just stick it onto the nail, or maybe stripes. And yeah, but the rest, what else can be, yeah, but the rest you need clear gel so you keep them intact and in shape. And also make sure that you don't push them too far onto the cuticles, because it will be hard for you to put gel on top of them nicely. So make sure that there is space between the rhinestones and your cuticles. I'm just trying to put them on nicely. I'm just trying to put them on nicely. And also you need to check well if it's skewed or anything. If it is, make sure that you turn them or do whatever you can for them to be straight. So with the checking, you need to check from different angles of the nail. That's the only way you'll know that this is not straight, you know. Yeah. And then after that, you put clear gel on the what? On the glitters. I usually put 2 layers of clear gel because they are kind of bumpy and I feel like it's just uncomfortable. I love making their surface smooth. So you put clear gel and then you just put it in the machine for it to dry. You just put it in the machine. And now that it's dry, I put on my stripe. I actually use a scissor to cut the stripe and I put it on the machine first. You make sure that you cut a longer thing. Don't be scared of it finishing, because I feel like it's just easy that way. What did you put before putting the glitters? I put clear gel. She missed that part. I put clear gel. After putting my stripe on, I just cut it. When you cut it, please don't cut it too close to the edge of the nail, because it's going to peel. So yeah, don't cut it. And I love pressing it onto the nail, and you just make sure that it's straight. It's straight, and you just press it onto the nail a bit. And then after that, I put clear gel on the rhinestones and the stripe. I put clear gel because even with the stones I also put clear gel 2 times, because I just like securing them into place. I don't like it when they fall off. That's why I do that. So yeah, I just put on and then put it in the machine. So now it's dry and I'm just going to put clear gel or base gel on top. This is like now the second last step. You just put clear gel on top. It helps with you know, sometimes nails get dirty and everything, so yeah, it helps with that. So you always put clear gel. Let me just make a quick recap. First you put First you put clear gel on the nail, then you put 2 layers of color or 3 layers of color. After that you put your decorations, which some require you putting clear gel before, some don't. And after that you put clear gel on again on top. If it's glitters or rhinestones, I double, I put it twice because I just love securing them into place, but it depends on you. And yeah, after that it's the top coat now. So right now I'm just putting on my top coat, which is like the last layer of coat, whatever. With top coat we have two types of top coat. We have the shiny glossy one, and we have the matte one. The shiny, yeah, we have the matte one. And they all, after you put top coat, you usually wipe it off because it dries, but you still have like a sticky thing, so you have to wipe it off. They're all like that. With the top coat you don't put a lot, you just put a little. Make sure you put it well, and make sure you also seal your ends. You should always seal the ends. That is an important part of it. And then after you apply your top coat, you just put it in the machine, and they should stay in for at least 3 to 4 minutes. They should stay in longer. When the top coat has dried, you wipe your nails with cleanser. After wiping them, you apply cuticle oil on the cuticles, not the nail, and then you just rub it. We put cuticle oil, like it's just for cuticle repair, because you know when you're filing, you're touching the client's cuticles and all that. That's why we put cuticle oil. And after cuticle oil, you don't put the hand back into the machine. You are done like that. That is like the final step. Yeah, we have cuticle oils have flavors and they all smell good. This is the final look, and it's so clean and neat. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this, and I hope you learned something. Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll have more tutorials coming. Until next time, bye.